All right, I want to get to the Flynn stuff and the Spygate stuff, but ladies and gentlemen, we have pressing priorities right now. And I want to defend myself. Last night, I got a lot of criticism, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why our show email's out there on the website if you'd like to communicate with us. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want to defend myself. And what do I mean? I was on Sean Hannity's show last night, and I got a little hot last night on the show, but I meant every word of it. Because I'm just tired of hearing about, unity when one party wants to annihilate us. Believe me, every day, nothing's good news anymore in my life. It's just less bad news. It's not a pity party. The fight's the fight. Get ready for it. That's what we've been put here to do. End of story. No pity, no sorrow, no nothing. Just do it. But I mentioned last night, I was talking about the futility of Mitch McConnell and others, that relying on a third party movement is a strategic disaster. Folks, I'm telling you, I've never gotten more emails on a topic. Maybe the death penalty show I did. I'm not going to tell you what sounds right. You don't have to agree with it. I love the back and forth we have via social media, email, and elsewhere. And if I think I'm wrong and you can defend an idea, I'm happy to change my position. I did on some trade issues. But I am absolutely convinced the idea of starting a third party right now is an absolute disaster. And I just said absolute twice, which is bad. Let me tell you why. And then I'll give you an example. Folks, we don't live in a parliamentary system. I discussed this the other day, but I have to say it again because I mentioned the third party disaster last night and there's been a flood of info. We have winner-take-all congressional districts. There is no proportional representation. Either a Republican, a Democrat, or a Libertarian, or someone wins that district. That's it. There are no two congressmen from a district based on what percentage of the vote. None. It is not proportional representation. It's win or go home. The problem with that, and you know what? I explained it poorly the other day, and forgive me. I'm going to go take a different angle today. I explained it that the Republican Party owns the infrastructure right now. It's our party, though, that functions through our money and our time. They own the email lists. They own the volunteer lists. They own the money. It's ours. Why we would forfeit that, even if the house burned down, there's still a shell of it left we can rebuild. You're better than starting from scratch. And the house did burn down. It's a mess. The GOP is a flaming dumpster fire right now, but there's still a dumpster left. I don't want to have to buy a new dumpster. But that was a bad analogy. Here's a better way to describe it. We don't have the numbers, folks. In a winner-take-all district for Congress, and I'll explain to you how that affects the presidency too in a minute, we don't have the numbers to win. These districts are winner-take-all. The Democrats in most of the districts that aren't horribly gerrymandered, the swing districts that matter, that determine control, right? You figure you have whatever, 100 maybe seats that are Democrat. No Republicans winning. It's like Baltimore City, LA, like New York City. Republicans not winning that anytime soon. Let's just be honest. Statistics back it up. I'm living in, fantasy land. Say there's 100 Democrat, 100 Republican seats. I'm just throwing out round numbers. And the rest are swing seats. Those numbers are up. But say the rest are up for grabs. Right? In those swing districts, say they're 50-50 Democrat or Republican. If the Democrats don't split their party, which they won't, why would they? They own the White House, effectively the Senate, and the House right now. Why would they split their party? They're loving this. The Democrats will get 50% of the vote. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just math. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just trying to tell you the strategy's a failure. 50% of Democrats will vote for their Democrat. They're not going to split. But then the other 50%, say 25% stick with the dumpster fire GOP, and then 25% stick with the third party, whatever it may be, the new GOP. Who knows? GOP, the sequel. How do you win? It's a winner-take-all district. There's no mathematical path to victory. None. Zero. So why engage in a strategy that's futile? To what point are we making? By losing? You will therefore, in swing districts, have routes by Democrat candidates who will win all the swing districts too. You may say, well, Dan, we can make it up for the presidency. We can run as, Democrat, whatever. Biden, say, runs for re-election. We could run Trump under a third-party banner. And then the Republican failures can run, who's a big failure in the Republican Party? They can run Nancy Mace, that South Carolina congresswoman who bailed on us the minute she got in there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have the same problem. To become the president of the United States, you need 270 electoral votes. How's that going to happen? If we split the vote nationally, and even some Democrats, vote for Trump like they did last time, you'll have a repeat of what actually happened with a third party before. It did. Yeah, it did. Most of you weren't alive. And I'm not a historian. I don't pretend to be, but I enjoy history. History Channel is one of my favorite things to watch, even though most of their stuff is totally leftist. Once in a while, I'll have a good one. Remember what happened in 1912? Yeah, we tried the same thing. The Republican Party split into the Teddy Roosevelt wing and the Taft wing. And you know who got elected president? One of the worst, most liberal, radical presidents in U.S. history, Woodrow Wilson. You want the numbers? You think there's a chance of, while Teddy Roosevelt, I'll give you the exact numbers because it's exactly what would happen. Joe Biden, if he ran for re-election, would get about 40% of the vote. And the Republicans would split amongst dumpster fire Republicans and the Patriots and a third party. You have no chance of winning. It's never going to happen. So why do it? Here's the numbers from 1912. How many electoral votes do you think Woodrow Wilson got? 271, 272? Was it a squeaker? Keep in mind, it was a Republican third party under Teddy Roosevelt in this one. Yeah, Woodrow Wilson won 435 to 88. Sounds like a winning strategy to me, folks. 435 to 88 because the Republican conservative libertarian vote was split. Well, how many states did Wilson win? 26? 40. 40. 40. You may say, wow, he won 435 electoral votes in 40 states. What did he get? Like 80% of the vote? 41. Prove my point? He won nearly every state in the union and nearly every electoral vote with 41% of the vote because Taft and Roosevelt split 27 and 23%. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a failure. Anyone telling you otherwise is lying to you. It is a failure. I told you I'd leave you with a bit of good news. And the good news is this. The Republican Party is yours. You built it. You built the infrastructure. It is an absolute cataclysmic dumpster fire of a failure right now. But at a minimum, there's still a dumpster left. There's some money there and there's some infrastructure we can use. It's our party, not theirs. If you cede it to them and start a third party, you will be routed in a historic rout you've never seen since 1912. The way to fix it now is to take your money and your volunteer work and to go and recruit and find candidates who believe in our ideas, crazy things like liberty and stuff, and get rid of these buffoons and gutless wonders in the Republican Party now. From Adam Kinzinger, I'm sorry, I'm down on this Crenshaw guy, Mace in South Carolina. If they can't align with our principles and show some backbone, and again, I'm not knocking their prior service or anything like that. I'm talking about politically. I'm not going to engage in the Jake Tapper thing because that's just stupid and counterproductive. I serve the country too. No one defers to me. Oh, Dan was a Secret Service. That's not great. Really? I get like 25 death threats a day. God bless what they've done for the country. Mace and Crenshaw have terrific CVs. I don't know, but I think Kinzinger served too. Congratulations. Great. Thank you. Sincerely. That does not absolve you of leading going forward. These are three high-profile people. And I'm not suggesting some blind loyalty to Donald Trump either. I'm suggesting a loyalty and fidelity to the causes of liberty and freedom going forward. And I mean real, touchable, tangible liberty and freedom, not the campaign slogan. I mean economic liberty. Where are you on government spending, on taxes, on school choice, on healthcare reform? Where are you on all that stuff? And I'm backing people who did it. Why are you wasting your time attacking Donald Trump? So on a good note, we can do this. It's our party. There's 75 million of us. Ladies and gentlemen, that can switch and reform an entire party. It did it in the Reagan Revolution. We can do it again. Do not walk down the failure path because it feels good. That's what Democrats do. And one last thought. This all comes in cycles, folks, all of it. This is low. We're in, the natural vicissitudes of life. We're at a trough right now. I know. We're at the bottom. We're looking up. We're like, how are we going to dig out of this? The answer is you don't have a choice. I told you, it's a boxing match. It's not a golf game. But secondly, it all comes in cycles. How much worse could it have gotten than Jimmy Carter? They gave us Ronald Reagan. How much worse could it have gotten than Barack Obama? We got Donald Trump. It comes in cycles. You still live in the wealthiest, most prosperous country on earth. We're in a dark time. I opened up the whole show with it. But those dark times don't last forever. They never do. They never do. We can fix it, but it starts today. You got to brush off, as hard as it is. I understand your disappointment. I'm depressed too. You probably hear it in my voice. It's been a really bad couple weeks. Nothing has gone right. But I'm not giving up on you. And if anybody, after being nearly destroyed this last few weeks, has earned the right to say I'm taking a day off, it would have been me, but I'm not. Got to dust off. Get off the mat. Fight back.